Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Quick Break Games, and today we're going to talk about the potential of a Funko Fusion 2, we'll call it, now being in development at 1010 Games. If you're not familiar, some of the developers from TT Games, guys like Arthur Parsons and John Burton, who were the developers of most of the LEGO games, they left TT a few years ago and started a new studio called 1010 Games. They went on to release Funko Fusion in September of 2024. I love the game, but apparently it didn't end up performing the best in terms of sales. We'll talk more about that later on in this video. Anyway, the news today is that they now have a new game in development, potentially a sequel to Funko Fusion. So if we go to their website, we can now see that they have a job opening. To my knowledge, this is the first time that they're hiring anyone since before the release of Funko Fusion. So this job position is called a Lead Unreal Programmer. It says here, 1010 Games is an independent development studio based in the heart of Warrington, UK. 1010 Games saw its first release in 2024 with Funko Fusion and is now gearing up for future growth with new and exciting IPs. Now, I'm not going to read all of this. They go on a lot about how great it is to work there, probably due to an Insider Gaming article that was talking bad about them earlier this year. But anyway, very interesting so far how they say new and exciting IPs. We'll skip on down here. It says we are growing our team rapidly over the next few months, so this is an amazing opportunity to come and join our people first culture and be part of our exciting expansion. So great news here. It sounds like this won't be their only job posting for long as they're growing their numbers for this next game. 1010 Games is looking for an experienced lead programmer with deep Unreal Engine expertise to help shape the future of our next titles. This is your opportunity to join an established team primed for growth and to help drive the technical direction of our upcoming projects while still in the early stages of development. I'll try to speculate what they could be working on here in a bit. The rest of this listing doesn't reveal too much. Under the What We're Looking For section, they do mention Unreal Engine. Of course, this is the whole job title. It's called Lead Unreal Programmer. So that confirms that this next game will be made in Unreal Engine 5, which isn't surprising at all considering that's where Funko Fusion was made. And then the last thing here is that they want experience with console development, so I think we can safely confirm that this next game is not going to be a PC exclusive, which is good for us console players. So that's essentially the news here. 1010 Games is now hiring for their next title, but what could this next title be? Could we be getting Funko Fusion 2? Maybe. So before Funko Fusion's release, during an interview at San Diego Comic-Con 2024, which was just over exactly 1 year ago now, studio head Arthur Parsons gave a really good interview where he sort of hinted at their future plans. Let's check it out.
We wanted to come out strong with game one, because, at 1010 Games, our goal here is to make a franchise of Funko games over time. So game one had to come out strong.
So Funko Fusion is considered Game 1, and that their goal at 1010 Games is to make a Funko game franchise, he said. Now again, this was a year ago. Unfortunately, Funko Fusion didn't end up coming out strong, like he was mentioning there. I think the majority of the issues are fixed now, but supposedly the game didn't sell well, so there's potential they could completely pivot away from Funko games. That could make sense given the sales of Funko Fusion, but I personally want them to stick with it. They've got a ton of Funko assets and everything built up from their first game, so I think it would make sense to build upon that with a new Funko game rather than start from scratch with something entirely different. But let's see what else he said.
And the games obviously that we've, those of us that used to work there have worked on in the past, those IP could come in future games, who knows? But this is about creating a unique voice with learnings that we've got. It's give Funko a unique voice. Hopefully people play this, love it, and then as you move forward, what do we do next? For game 2, game 3, who knows?
So there he mentioned that some of the IP from back when he worked on the LEGO games could appear in future Funko games. Now that could be pretty much anything, as we've had a lot of LEGO games over the years. We've had Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Pirates of the Caribbean, Lord of the Rings, everything that was in LEGO Dimension. There's a lot of potential for this next Funko game. And since Arthur Parsons and the others were at TT Games during that time, they probably already have a relationship with a lot of these companies. And also in that clip, he did mention the potential for multiple Funko games after that as well. So yeah, to me, it's pretty obvious that the plan for 1010 Games definitely sounds like to be the Funko game developer, just like how TT Games was and still is the LEGO game developer, although I know there's a bunch of other developers making LEGO games now too. But things could have changed now due to the performance of Funko Fusion, but personally I think they will stick with Funko. Developing Funko games sounds like it's the entire vision for the studio, so I think it makes sense to continue with that. Plus, I think a lot of the issues with Funko Fusion were bug related, not necessarily that it was Funko. So I have no idea what they could be doing next, but I would love to see a game focused on one huge franchise instead of the fusion of multiple smaller franchises like they did with their first game. You know, let's get a Funko Marvel game or a Funko Star Wars game, or just some sort of huge heavy hitter franchise like that. Because the franchise alone can draw people in, and if they can learn from their mistakes with Funko Fusion and make a solid game that reviews well, I think it could be a huge hit just like the LEGO games were. And there's a lot of mechanics that they can reuse and build upon as well, like the mold machines could return, the vinyl currency, all that good stuff. And then lastly in this video, I'd like to talk about when we could see this game release. Funko Fusion began development around the summer of 2021 from my understanding, so it took about 3 years to make. This next game, assuming it's still Funko and they can reuse and build upon the framework that they already have with Funko Fusion, maybe we could see this game release in 2027? Maybe late 2026 at the earliest if they can really work quickly. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this new job listing at 1010 Games. Are you excited for their next game? Did you like Funko Fusion like me, or are you one of the many haters out there? In terms of Funko Fusion, the Deluxe Edition is releasing in just a few weeks on August 22nd, 2025 for Nintendo Switch. It is confirmed to have a new Fantastic Plastic DLC. I assume this is going to be a character pack, but we really have no idea yet. We also don't know if it's going to be an exclusive to the Switch version. Personally, I would love to see online crossplay and cross progression added to the game, as well as maybe a Nintendo Switch 2 version to kind of bring it up more in line with the other console versions of the game. That would be sick, but I'm not sure how much development Funko Fusion is getting at this point, as their DLC and update output dropped significantly once we hit 2025. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if not. Subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys next time here on Quick Brick Games.